Get ready, 5 seconds. Start. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me very great pleasure to welcome you all to this ancient city of Madras and particularly to this historic hall. You will find history staring at you from the front and also from the back. We have retained these pictures on the walls so that we may sometimes feel the change that has taken place. Sometimes it is necessary to remember the past also. That is why we have retained these pictures in this hall. Many of you are perhaps visiting Madras for the first time, and some of you would have come here on many occasions. A few amongst you belong to the Madras state, and it is a coming back to their own home for them. We have tried our best to make your stay here as comfortable as possible, and if there are any lapses, we may be pardoned. We are particularly grateful to the chairman for having agreed to have the board meeting here. For some time past, the meetings have been held only at Delhi. I suppose from now on the various states will get their chance and the board meetings will be held in all the states. These are certain advantages in having these meetings outside Delhi. It gives one an intimate picture of things happening in the various states. The officers and others concerned are greatly benefited by the visit of eminent educationists from outside the state. And I am sure the visitors also would, in the same way, be benefited by having a look at things in the particular state. It is through this process of mutual consultation that it would be possible for us to make progress. The occasion we are meeting now is of some significance, particularly in a growing and developing country. We are just now going through the process of the completion of the second 5 year plan. There are only 2 years more, and we have begun to think of the third 5 year plan. Therefore, it is appropriate that we should take into account the experience we have gained and the lessons we have learnt in formulating the working of the second 5 year plan. I am sure those experiences and lessons would guide us properly for the purpose of formulating the third 5 year plan, and more than that, in successfully implementing them. We are all aware that when the second 5 year plan was being formulated, persons particularly interested in the development of education were disappointed to a great extent as regards the allocation of resources for the educational development. But I do not think we can blame the Planning Commission for this. I would say that we ourselves are to be blamed because we did not formulate the plan with a reference to physical targets and what it would mean in terms of finance. We did not place before the Planning Commission perhaps the proper picture. Unless this time we take steps sufficiently early, we may miss the bus this time also. Therefore, I attach considerable significance and importance to this meeting, particularly at this juncture, because it is now we have to take up this problem of formulating the third 5 year plan. It is not as if during the formulation of the second 5 year plan we did not have a sufficiently clear picture of the developments that were necessary to take place in our country. We had the benefit of very valuable reports, one in respect of university education and another in respect of secondary education. Even though the pictures were given quite clearly and definitely, still I am afraid it remained merely an academic picture which did not mean anything to the planners, particularly to the finance ministers. We have to give these academic targets and objectives a financial picture. Then alone we would be able to carry the planning commission and the planners with us. The report of the secondary education commission gave us a picture of how the secondary education should be reorganized, but that is no fault of theirs. We should have taken steps to see what it means in terms of money. As a matter of fact, we made the attempt. While I welcome you here heartily and sincerely, I hope and trust that this meeting would lead not only to a successful end, but we will also have a successful session here. But the success would depend upon what you began doing and what we decide here. I have no doubt that within the next 2 years before the third 5 year plan, we do not have even 2 years. We will be taking steps to establish the leadership of this board in the field of education. If we take that lead, I have no doubt that we will be able to convince all those who are engaged in the task of framing the plan that a little more of money would be necessary for the purpose of achieving the physical targets in the educational sector. As a matter of fact, the developments in every other sector of activity in our country would depend upon the progress we make in the educational sector. With that realization, I hope the task of educationalists would be easier during the third 5 year plan period. Once again, I want to emphasize this. It all depends on us whether things would be made easy for us or whether they would continue to be difficult for us. I hope this session would show the way and would pave the way for further educational progress in the various states and the country as a whole. I do not think I should go into the various details because it is not my job here and it is not my duty here. But still, when welcoming you, I thought I should mention a few important aspects which I consider important because I happen to hold the two portfolios of finance and education. As far as the other states are concerned, it would be a great task for the education ministers to convince the finance ministers. But so far as Madras is concerned, I have to convince myself, and while doing so, I sometimes find it is a very great task. That is quite a different thing. I hope under your chairmanship we would be able to formulate a course of action in this session which would lead us on to further progress and further development in the educational sector. We are particularly happy that the governor of our state is able to come over here to inaugurate this session. I do not wish to detain you longer, and on the other hand, I would very much like to hear what the chairman and members have to say on the various issues that are current in the field of education today. I thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to meet all of you. Now, may I request the governor of our state to inaugurate this session. I hope you would feel your stay here quite comfortable. Not only comfortable, when you go back, you will, I am sure, carry back pleasant memories of your stay here. Stop.